Well, I'll take questions.
You're coming up short. The rally is still coming up short. Doesn't make you feel any better, I'm sure.
Well, I learned a lot about my team today. I learned that when we fell behind 6-0, we're not going to give up to anybody at any time, and I think that's important. The message I just gave the team is that we're obviously disappointed with the loss, but we learned a lot about ourselves today. A lot of teams in this ballpark falling behind 6-0 would not have done what we did today, so we learned a lot of good things today.
What did you feel like the difference was in the offense late in the game from maybe earlier in the series?
I just think, we finally had a good day to hit again today. It was a nice warm day and faced a lot of good fastballs, and we can get on the good fastball. We just took good at-bats. Nobody's going to panic after a few days. We're faced good pitching all weekend. 7 runs today, 10 hits. It was a good offensive performance.
What do you think of Gilreath in his first start?
Gilreath was solid. Left a couple balls up there. Wasn't quite ahead of hitters like he had been. But it was a good learning experience for him and something he'll be able to build on.
What were the discussions like, Coach, in the dugout as you fell down 6-0 with everybody trying to keep everybody up in the dugout?
Stay calm, stay positive. Don't give in. We'll be just fine. That's how championship teams react. You fall behind, you can panic, or you can stay calm, stay focused. That's what we did, and that's why we were able to tie it and had the winning run at third base there in the ninth.
How do you, not let this kind of emotionally hang you guys up and kind of snowball?
It won't. It won't. I told the team that we saw a lot to build on today. So once again, we hate to lose to anybody. Hate to lose a series like this, but it brings you down if you let it bring you down, and we won't let that happen.
With some of the bullpen guys, that you see some guys step up that in this kind of environment, and like what you see from some of the guys in the later innings?
Yeah, for the most part, we pitched pretty well all weekend, but once again, gave them too many free bases today, whether it was some walks or whether it was wild pitches, where they get some free bases and move up. And then, we just need to play a little bit cleaner baseball. If we do that, I think we win the ball game.
What did you see on that last pitch to Wharton? Was it a mistake pitch, or did he just have a good swing?
No, that was. I'm sure Skylar just called one of those fastballs. He had thrown slider there, and then you throw the elevated fastball just to try to be able to go back to the next pitch. A lot of times you try to set up your next pitch. Just looked like got too much of the plate.
With Olson and Cortez struggling as much as they have at the plate, do you look at some changes there?
Those are guys we need to be good for us to be good. And Olson's stats do not reflect how he's been swinging the bat. He's hit a lot of balls hard, and he had a couple more big at-bats today where the balls actually found holes for him. Carlos, we need to get going, no question about it. If we're going to be good, he needs to be right there in the center of it. We just need to figure out at this point what will help him the most. Is it giving him a day off? Is it continuing to work and get him swings? We'll sit down with him and we'll continue to figure out the best plan for Carlos.
What was the thinking with the pitching decisions that you made at the end of the game to go with who you went with?
What point are you talking about?
Well, I'm going to mess up names here. Normally, Eddie would be your closer.
Eddie did a great job stabilizing that game for us. And we got to the point where the lineup turned over again, and we wanted to give those good lefties there at the top of their lineup a different look. Brought in a guy that throws 93, 94 with a good slider, so that's what our thinking was.
With Gilreath, did you feel like he had some pretty good stuff and maybe just had some bad luck and maybe not great defense behind him some? Were you happy with how he pitched?
I thought his stuff was not quite as good, knowing that he was potentially giving us 80 to 100 pitches today. The fastball wasn't quite as hard today as normal. He was more in that 86 to 88, 89 range, where out of the bullpen he had been, we had seen some 91s and close to 92. So once again, that's just the evolution of a young pitcher, trying to figure out the best way to use him. I thought the matchup was sound with all the lefties in their lineup. Had a quality lefty that we were able to start, and we knew we could bring in Ridge right behind him. So our pitching set up fine. We just we need to make plays when they're there, and there was one big play that we just didn't make that led to 3 runs. That obviously ended up being the difference in the ballgame.
This series give you a decent feel for how you're going to match up when SEC play begins?
Yeah, I told our team the team we played today is very similar to most of the teams we'll play in our conference, and this series could have gone either way. So once again, not happy that we didn't win the series, but we learned a lot, and we'll build on it, and we'll be better because of it.
Was moving Carlos down, was that a matchup thing, or just because he's struggling, trying something different?
Both. Just trying to take a little pressure off Carlos. Carlos wants to be good very badly, and just he's putting a lot of pressure on himself because he's such a great team player that he wants to help his team win. And without being able to do that lately, he's been putting a lot of pressure on himself. So it's moved him down just to try to take a little pressure off him. We know he's going to be good. It's not if, it's when. So the more we can take a little bit of that pressure off him, I think the better off he'll be.
5 losses in your first 12 games. You got to make up some of these losses down the road in terms, you think about the big picture of NCAA play later on?
One game at a time.
What are your overall thoughts on this series and kind of the format and all that kind of stuff and how it played out?
I love this series. It's two great programs getting after it. 3 different venues in 3 days. I think whoever thought this thing up was right on. Playing in our park, playing in their park, and playing in a neutral professional park, and fans from all over the state getting to be a part of it. I just think it's perfect.
Do you anticipate Gilreath staying in that Sunday spot?
We'll have to evaluate it. It's once again, it's about how the pieces all fit together, and you're trying to find the winning combination of where do the pieces best fit to help you win the most amount of games. So we'll evaluate, is the best way for him to come out of the bullpen and help us win multiple games a week, or is it start and help us win 1 game? That's to be determined.
How do you feel like TJ played this week, and he obviously had the home run? How good is that when you get some pop at the top of the order?
Yeah, TJ. I mean, TJ's a developing player. He's not a finished product yet. He has his moments where he really shines, and then there's times where he gets a little anxious at the plate and gets out ahead of the breaking ball a little bit. So it's just a matter of him continuing to get better, and he will.